So I guess we are able to begin our conversation. So first of all, nice to meet you again after quite a few years, I would say. I guess time changes people and their faces too. Despite that, I guess we are able to at least approximately recognize each other. So what exactly today's plan is, I would like to inquire, and what are your inquiries? What would you like to know? Because we had a conversation before. Of course, it was some time ago. You have some recollections from before, as you have noted, and maybe you have forgotten a few things. And we will gonna do for today, from my point of view, I would like to do some refreshers about what we have talked before, what you remember, and what was not maybe sufficiently addressed before. And we can go deeper into those things. And after that, maybe you have something also that you would like to explore. You have a picture that you like to also investigate. So I guess that's the approximate plan. What are your ideas about this conversation? What would you like to have from what we communicate? Let's get a small refresher. You remember your connection or your source from Sirius? That's an important point. But also we talk importantly about your connection to the galactic central rays, which was the main issue the last time we spoke. It was that you have it was a very important connection you had, and yet you seem to like lost that connection and began to look for other sources where to connect, and that kind of deviated your soul from your soul's main purpose, which is well, I think it was not disclosed properly the last time, so maybe today we will be able to disclose it eventually. Let's go to your questions. What exactly do you have in mind for today? Yes, and it is actually a very important question. We would like to delve deeper into the question, why did you came to Earth? And the reason for that is actually connected to the both of these important sources, is the Sirian aspect and also the galactic central rays aspect. First of all, the Sirian aspect is the teacher aspect in you. Is the idea that you could be a teacher and deliver some important knowledge to the people of Earth, as you probably are already doing. It depends on whatever you are doing it consciously or not, or we could say actively or passively. It makes not much that of a difference, because you could like be a teacher and sit in some ashram and dictate lectures, or you could be just a human being and live your life and yet lead by example instead of lectures. So that doesn't make much difference. What makes difference is the connection to the galactic central rays, and that rays, it is the core of our galaxy, which represents all the, let's just put it like core principles of the galaxy, how things work and how they should work according to the like etheric template, the way it was supposed to be working. So this way, you, in your soul, in the core of your soul, you have these core principles. And these core principles, they are like basic things for you. Like, for example, your diet or your actions, your life philosophy, the things that you are doing, they are aligned to the core principles of the way things should be done. And every action what you do, it basically moves you and also everyone who surrounds you more towards those core principles which should be lived by. What is meant by that is that you are doing things correctly, even though that way of saying is not always the most proper way of saying, but because usually people get in all sorts of arguments who is living correctly and who is not. But despite all the discords in these types of subjects, there are things how things should be done. And the way you are doing things, they are the correct ways. They are less corrupt than the average. Let's just put it this way. So whatever you are doing, it's a blessing to this planet, and you just have to do it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter actually what you will do. You will bring harmony to this world because you know it in your heart. You don't have to really think about it. You just know it just because how you are. It's who you are. You don't have to even try because the last time we met, the things you were conscious about, the knowledge what you had, average person does not have it. The average person does not take interest in all those kind of dietary and mind exercises and all of those things. And yet you had them. And that's the proof of who you are. So your point is to lead by example. And if you were to choose to even, let's say, well, teach that example, you could be a teacher of however magnitude you would like to be. That's the Syrian principle. Syrians are well known for being teachers, and you could definitely encore those teacher principles if you choose so. But it's not necessary, but you could alleviate a great amount of suffering on this planet if you were to choose to teach. So it's up to you. And that's the best way in a certain sense, because, well, actions speak louder than words. Many people like to make like elaborate, extensive lectures about all sorts of subjects, but then after the lecture is finished, usually or sometimes, let's put it this way, they return to their normal lives. And those principles that we were lecturing, well, they are not reflecting in their daily life. And yet there are other people who are actually living those things, maybe not preaching so much about those things, and yet they are just living them. And you are one of those living examples. The 2 points you would like to address now. Well, let's touch on the second point. It is the ascension process, which you are obviously are going to go through because of your nature. It's just because you came to be that and you came to do that. You will definitely gonna go through that and gonna go successfully through that because basically you came for that. It's one of the reasons you came, and you came to go through it and just do it. Just simply do it. Because we need living examples. We need some people who are just able to do it. And the better the success rate of the people who are going to go through it, the more of that success are going to bleed to other people, and they will be able to be inspired by those who are going to go through it. And you are going to be one of those people, and you will touch everyone who was connected to you, and they will see it. They will see it how you go naturally through it, because just simply that's who you are. So that's unavoidable. Next thing, you talked about your soul family, and this is something that we would like to reflect upon the picture of your screen, what you are seeing. The picture what you are seeing on the screen now is related to your soul family, if you would like to choose to call it like that, because our soul also originates in Sirius, or at least associates itself with that star system, and therefore, in whatever way you'd like to choose it or look at it, our souls are linked in certain ways. So our connection is also, we could call it the soul family connection. And our meeting, as you remember, it wasn't just an average meeting. We met kind of randomly. And as you remember probably clearly, it was a lot of people who met that day. And yet we naturally recognized in each other that there is something here. There is some natural connection. We should communicate. From all those people, there were hundreds of people, and yet for some reason we hadn't felt connection to anybody else, and yet we felt connected or a connection between us. So therefore, that's one of the aspects that we would like to address, that about your soul family, that you're not alone. Your soul family is here and you have some connection. There are others. I was able to meet another person who's also in this family, and I probably don't know that person. He's an Italian, but I was able to meet him in Portugal. I'm not sure where he's living now. I think he's living in Spain. But despite that, it's also from the same soul family. So that's something to know. There are people, there are someone to connect, and we all think very similarly. We all have similar interests, and we are all going to go through the ascension, and one way or the other, we are going to show and lead the way. So you are on the right track. Just that probably we haven't gathered all together, but eventually it's possible. Well, it depends on your perspective, because soul family is the concept which is not exactly described, because it's the way how you choose to describe it. And usually when we call direct soul family, it is the souls which have, let's just say, evolved together, meaning like they came from same source, and they came from, like, evolved together and traveled through many lifetimes together, and well, usually that happens, but on this planet it's not that easy to be connected directly to your direct soul family, but we can substitute for that someone. And these are souls which we have been familiar with. Like, for example, in Sirius, I would say we have been familiar. We knew each other one way or the other. And that link, that familiarity, is the way we could describe this soul family thing. And we use, I'm trying to say is that we try to use the most familiar link, the most closest link, and to affiliate with that, because the like many people are looking for example, for their soulmate or twin soul, or something like that. It's not so easy to meet their twin soul, and even if those twin souls do meet, it's not the happy life as in Cobra story. He had Isis Ashtara, and what happened from that? Isis Ashtara was killed, so it's not a happy ending there. It's not so easy just to connect and think that things will work out, because well, we are not living in complete enlightened society as of yet, even though we are work in progress. So we try to go as much as we can and to affiliate with as much as we can with the souls which have the most accurate vibration which we are able to match, and therefore we can associate with them. So that's the closest we can get as of now at this moment by communicating between us. That's the most we can do for now. But with time, we will find others and we will associate maybe with closer souls. And let's look at the girl in the picture. So this is a girl you are now dating, or what is it? And she's also from Germany, or? Oh, okay. Well, I would say that this soul also has a Syrian connection, and I would say that this soul was familiar to you. You have been friends, and you are in some ways entangled, meaning that you have a binding contract, some kind of, to help each other. So, however you are helping each other now, that is an appropriate way to do it, and there is a lot of potential. Your friend or girlfriend, can you maybe describe what is her status of awakening, just how much you would consider her awakened, about her status, and that's, I guess, is the most important thing, because you are, as I have mentioned, you two are linked together. We have very similar vibration frequency, and therefore you are able to communicate on the same level. That's very important for you, because, well, you live by example. You can lead by example, and very hopefully she will follow that example, because it's not that she is open to it, she's also associating herself with that kind of lifestyle. So therefore, you two have a very big potential together. From the contract point of view, your souls have a contract to be friends at least, but trying to become a couple, you have a great potential too. You should. But the point is that she also is trying to give you an important lesson, and that is to take the initiative and lead the way. That is, probably she's not gonna be the one who's going to make the first move. She is expecting that initiative from you. Therefore, it's your job to, as the more experienced guide, to show the initiative and lead the way, as we say. I wouldn't say that clearing is not the correct word to describe your relationship. We shouldn't start with clearing. I would say it's more about making new relationship, not clearing old relationship. So we should concentrate more on that. But despite that, you have met before. It did happen, but the circumstances were not correct. You have met in Persia, in Persian Empire. Well, you felt something for each other, but the circumstances did not allow you to delve deeper into those relationships. You had to let it go, yet now you have a chance to correct it. She came all the way from over there for you. Okay, well, somebody is holding the space for her, and that's nice. And the things can work out the way that things things change and things evolve. But somebody has to show where and how things could change and evolve. We are not talking about aggressive pushing here, but we are talking about that you should show the initiative, that you are open for a closer relationship, and leave it at that. If she will, then it's up to her, because she has to decide where she would like to go and grow. And if she will see that growing with you together is going to be a better option for her, then, well, good luck for you. And if she will feel that she's not ready yet, we have to wait, because she will be, eventually. Well, the galactic central race should be the most important thing for you, because that's the core vibrational frequency that you need to align yourself with, because we will evolve and ascend through that vibration frequency, because the galactic central rays, they are all, or have never been, let's just say, corrupted by the misaligned vibrations and all sorts of corruptions. So therefore we need to align to them, because they are anchoring those and holding those core main, the most important vibration frequencies that there are. And you in your heart, in your sacred tiny space of the heart, you feel those things. You know those things. Maybe you don't remember them exactly. Maybe you don't understand them, or at least all of them. But you know some of them intuitively. You know what are the right things to do in your heart. And then you follow your heart, you align yourself with those core principles. And that's the whole point, to align yourself. It's not the whole point of knowing all the stories associated with you, or all the things that happened and did not happen. But the point is to feel in your heart what is the right thing to do, what is the right thing to be, where to be, how to be, and what to be. And you have those core feelings. And the more you will follow those core heart feelings, the more you will align yourself with them. And the more peace and alignment you will have in your life. Because you're not gonna be battling with your, like, misaligned feelings or thoughts, or other, let's just say, miscellaneous battles which we engage in our daily lives. And instead we will just embody and anchor those core principles from that galactic central race, which is very important, because for you, you are going to not just ascend into, like, for example, like, go to Sirius or Pleiades or whatever many are hyping about to go. You are going to go directly to galactic central race, and gonna take seat with them, because your destiny is to be seated there and make some decisions for the future about how our galaxy is going to go about, and what measures we are going to take, so that the future generations would not steer themselves into the situations as they have them now, so that wouldn't repeat these kind of circumstances that we are living now. Therefore, many of us came here to experience what is happening now, and later on we will gonna make decisions in the high councils, elected councils, to decide what we are going to do about that. This should never ever repeat, and you are gonna sit and take one of those voting places. Therefore you need this experience, whatever is happening now, so you would know what is good and what is not. So you wouldn't be just philosophizing about things, oh, maybe that's not so bad, or whatever, they chose it themselves anyway, so let's just leave them to suffer. Well, now you know, now you experienced, and now you will be able to make wise decisions. And then you will, after this life, this is your last life on this planet, you will go to the central race, and you will take that seat, and you will make that vote. You will know what you are going to vote for, and that is going to be the correct vote. That things like that should never be allowed to happen ever again. Well, there is two aspects here. You are describing circumstance in your life that you have lost the ability to visualize meditation, but the question did you lost just the meditative visualizations or any kind of visualizations? So one thing what is happening now, that there are with your physical brain, there are certain changes. Something have changed in your brain chemistry. Something, well, from one point of view, those changes should have never happened because they are detrimental. Therefore, you lost the ability to visualize the meditative experience. But from the other point of view, it was allowed. Your higher self have allowed this, and there was a reason for that. The reason being that, well, it's just let's just say opinion, because all we can express are opinions, but your higher mind decided that you rely too much on visualizations, and therefore your reliance does not allow you to explore the intuitive and emotional side of meditation. So the way to, let's just say, push you towards the intuitive and feeling side of the meditation, the sensing side, that you sense and feel that meditation, was by shutting down that visualizing cortex, which, well, opinionally is maybe not the most constructive way, but that's how it happened. And now you need to start exploring the feelings. And for that, well, the female side, I mean, like your friend now, could be very helpful, because females, they are much more intuitive and much easier with the feelings, and men are more mental and more into visualizations, and yet that's not your ride now. What you should be riding are emotions and feelings, and therefore you need an appropriate partner who could help you to ride those emotional waves. And you should But you should, if you are not already doing that, you should consult with your friend and do some emotional meditations where you go on the feeling route, not on the visualizing route. That's what you need to do for the moment. Well, it's not exactly correct way to state that you should rely on physical, because you are trying to avoid the middle place, because you see we have the mental body, we have the physical body, but in the middle we have the emotional body, and we are just we're talking about your mental state, and yet after that you deflected the conversation to the physical, and that's not where you need to be. What you need to find is the middle between the mental and the physical. There is emotion, and that's where the female comes in, because you need a guidance here. And your friend, you just ask her help, and she will assist you. You mean your personal role in the global event of changing of ages? Well, as we have talked before about that a little bit, there are two aspects. We will remind those, and that is one unavoidable is that you are going to embody those changes, and the other is optional for you, is that you could lead other people through those changes. When people are going to panic and we are not going to understand what is happening, you can be that beacon of peace and rational mind whom can explain to them what is happening and what should we do, where should we orient ourselves. And that is towards the light, towards the higher mind, and not towards the chaos and towards the maybe some destructions which are inevitable, because some of the old structures are going to crumble upon its overcumbersome weight, which is overbearing, and those structures are collapsing already, and the new structures are arising, and we need clearly thinking and seeing leaders who are going to lead people, and you have that option to lead people if you want to. If not, even your participation in being clear-minded yourself is gonna be enough as it is. Well, let's just say that the next year are going to be extremely intense, and a lot of things will happen next year. And in 2027, it is planned that we are going to have a first contact even. It's planned. So let's hope that's going to happen. You know, in our language, in Lithuania, we have created quite a community, and we are doing the first contact meetings, and we are doing all sorts of things to embody those things. And actually, during the next year, there are plans to expand that movement more into English language, to international waters. And we have books, we have all sorts of lectures and things which I have made during the past years, only for Lithuanian audience. But next year we're going to bring those materials to the English-speaking world for free. So I hope you will be interested into exploring those. A few things we can mention is that first of all, despite how things look, the journey is just beginning, and 2025 is gonna be just the beginning of the journey. We tend to think that maybe it's going to be the end, like the so long waited 2025 and the things will end. But the way we have been informed and just say guided that it's going to be just the beginning. The changes are just gonna be the beginning, and many things will change. Strange things will happen next year, and they are kind of actually already happening now if you know where to look. But next year is gonna be crazy. We have never seen anything like that. What's gonna happen next year, and it's gonna be extremely exciting. And actually, we did in the Twina language. We had this well, not monthly, but let's just say quarterly newsletters. We have a Telegram group and made some news. In English language, we didn't have those things, but it's gonna happen next year. So most of those things are in our website. So maybe you should take note or subscribe to those things. And the books I've mentioned, they should also appear in our YouTube channel, English YouTube channel, where you will also gonna be able to listen to the recording of our conversation. So we are doing recordings now because many people losing the information. So we talk and people forget. So the more common sense is to make a recording, even though this is just from our side, but you know what you asked for. So you just need to be reminded about the answers. So you will be able to listen to this conversation again about it's gonna should appear in around a month's time. And later on, the books, newsletters, things will gonna start rolling. So we need to start rolling up the sleeves because action is beginning. Yes, of course, our website is open sourced, so you can give it to anyone if somebody wants to ask to hear their soul story or some questions or whatever. So we will communicate with everyone if somebody needs that. Yes, first of all, we have to establish the fact that if the communication, former communications and this communication has been helpful for you, so then you are able to express your gratitude for that. And if you've seen in our website, under the description of this conversation, in the end, there is some links which you can follow, how you can express your gratitude if you feel so, what you would like to thank for. Yes, of course. If you will feel that you want to explore some other subject, we are going to be able to assist you. One thing to clear out a bit, sometimes we are referring to as I, as in my personality, and sometimes I am communicating also with my higher mind. So I'm referring to as we, my personality and higher mind. So it's just how things are. So I hope that it was useful for you, and in the future, if you will feel you need more guidance, even though you actually don't need it, because you are pretty much aligned with your core principles anyway. But people tend to, we are communicating with people for quite a few years now, and what people actually need is not a direction in life. What they need is someone to agree with them. that they are on that correct path. Because if nobody in your surroundings are not actually supporting you in what you're doing, you tend to feel a little bit discouraged about your way, of how you go about your life. And then what you need is someone to agree with you. Yes, you are on the correct path. All those masses are probably they are in the incorrect path, even though they probably think that they are. But we are the minority, who are going to change the world. So let's get to action. Okay. Thank you very much for the ability to communicate and hopefully help for you to clarify a few things. So thank you for this time and unavoidably see you in the future. Okay. Goodbye.